here we have another problem where we are dividing a polynomial by a binomial. And we've got a couple of wrinkles being thrown at us, particularly here initially in the format. So we've got r squared, we're presented with r squared plus 5r plus 7 times 1 minus r raised to the power of negative 1. So here's our first little format wrinkle, if you will, and that's that negative 1. But all that tells us is that that's the expression 1 minus r is now thrown into the denominator. And so if we were to rewrite this based on that, we'd have r squared plus 5r plus 7 over, that's what that negative 1 does, 1 minus r. Now, the second little format issue as we approach this thing from a long division algorithm is we got 1 minus r. And we're going to need to rewrite that as negative r plus 1. That's the second little wrinkle that they throw at us. Because if you recall, what we're doing is we're taking that variable of that binomial and we're dividing it into the first and then the next terms of that, in this case, a trinomial. So let's set this up then for our long division algorithm as negative r plus 1. That's an r, doesn't look much like an r, almost looks like a v. Let's see if we can make that look a little better. All right, that's a little better. And we're dividing that into r squared plus 5r plus 7. All right, so we're asking ourselves, how many times will negative r go into r squared? Well, if we multiply two negatives together, we get a positive. So negative r will go into r squared negative r times. Now we're going to multiply negative r times negative r plus 1. And so negative r times negative r is r squared. And negative r times 1 is negative r. Now we're going to subtract this. Let's put that in parentheses. Let's put a little negative up there. That's to remind us to change the signs. What's in there? So let's see, and that is so r squared minus r squared, of course, is 0. And 5r plus r, remember this is going to go to a plus, is 6r. All right. Now, how many times will negative r go into positive 6r? Well, it'll go there negative 6 times. All right. Now, negative 6 times negative r. And let's see, I got to bring down my plus 7. Negative 6 times negative r is 6r. And negative 6 plus 1, times 1, times positive 1 is negative 6. And again, we're going to be subtracting this. And when we do, 6r minus 6r is 0. And 7 plus 6 equals 13. And here's the next little wrinkle that we have, is that we've got a remainder of 13. So how do we express our answer to this problem? Well, we got here in our quotient negative r minus 6 plus, we got a remainder of 13 over, let's go back to our original expression, 1 minus r. So we got a remainder of 13 divided by 1 minus r. That deserves a Shazam.